Get off my land. That's what she screamed right in my face, like I was the trespasser here, not her. 12 years gone, first time I set foot on my family's soil since the funeral, and the very first sound I hear is a total stranger barking orders, acting like she owns the place. Can you imagine that? Disappearing for over a decade, coming back to the only spot on earth that still feels like home, and boom, some self-appointed sheriff with an orange vest is up in your business treating you like you just crawled under the fence. Yeah, that happened. So let me ask you, what would you do standing there in my boots, heart pounding, gate creaking open for the first time in 12 years, and somebody's already calling you the outsider? It hit hard, you know? That smell of dry earth, the whine of the old windmill familiar but twisted like a memory that just won't fit right anymore. I remember that last time Grandpa's funeral. I was still a mess then, and this place, it looked different. Now I'm back and someone's been busy. There, right in the middle of the old path, a bright green sign. Community Greenbelt. Fire Buffer Zone. Big, bold, shiny letters on a post that staked deep inside what always used to be Walker land. My chest tightened up. Something was wrong, and I could feel it. Out of nowhere, this woman comes stomping out from behind the brush, orange vest, clipboard attitude, sharp enough to cut barbed wire. Two guys behind her, brush cutters in hand, looking anywhere but at me. She points, jabs the air, her voice shrill. Get off my land. This is community fire buffer. You don't understand the law. Classic HOA, Karen energy, y'all know what I mean. I took a breath, tried to keep calm, pulled out the deed still in Grandpa's name, now legally mine. I'm Evan Walker. This is my family's ranch. She grabs the papers, yanks hard enough to tear the edge. Didn't even flinch. Scanned the pages, then tossed them back in my chest. This deed doesn't override wildfire zoning, she snapped, voice even louder. I didn't argue. I just pulled out my phone and started recording. Marker, signpost, everything. If I couldn't win with words, I'd win with proof. While she was running her mouth about public safety, another woman caught my eye a little ways off, hesitating with her phone like she was about to record, too. Rebecca. If you're here to stir up trouble again, leave the vest, woman hollered. Rebecca just gave a little shrug and walked away. Something about her stuck in my mind, like she was part of this mess, but maybe not on the same team. I kept moving along the fence line, boots crunching on dry grass. Memories coming back in flashes. Grandpa showing me the corner markers, old iron spikes, railroad ties. Don't trust fence posts, son, he'd say. They rot. Trust iron and brass. I found the old railroad spike at the northwest corner, bent down, brushed the dirt off, and right away I saw it. Fresh red paint. Not weathered like the signpost. I looked closer. The paint couldn't be more than 2 weeks old. The post. At least 6 months sun damaged. I said it out loud for the camera. This paint is brand new. They're trying to fake their boundary reference. The woman in the vest was watching me now, face locked up tight. I called out, I'm calling the sheriff. She didn't even blink. Go ahead. This is association property now. Her confidence rattled me, but I made the call anyway. The deputy showed up 20 minutes later, professional and neutral, taking notes as I showed him everything, the marker, the deed, the post location. The HOA woman sang her fire safety song all over again, word for word. The deputy finished his notes, looked at both of us. Civil boundary dispute. You'll need a surveyor, maybe the fire marshal. I'll document what I see, not picking sides, just the facts. As I backed my truck up to leave, my tire rolled onto the bank by the east corner soft ground, giving way beneath the weight. I heard a crack, looked down, and saw something gleaming under the dirt. Brushed it off, USGS benchmark, official government survey marker, half buried and damn near forgotten. I called the deputy over. He leaned down, interest finally showing. That's a U.S. Geological Survey benchmark. Those are legal boundaries. The HOA woman's face went sheet white. That's when it hit me they'd gone to a lot of trouble to make their boundary look legit. Painted spikes, shiny sign, all of it. But the real proof was here, set in the ground decades ago, just waiting for someone to care enough to look. I kept snapping photos, measuring, documenting every angle because I was done letting people tell me what was mine. Sun started to set, painting the sky orange and pink. I sat on the porch in Grandpa's old chair, feeling a mix of anger and pride. The photos were clear, the deed was in my hand, but I kept asking myself, would any of it matter? Would they listen? I heard Grandpa's voice in my head. A line is only as good as the people who respect it. I made a promise to myself. Right then I'd fight for this place come what may. The next morning I headed to the county office. Smelled like dust and old paper. The guy behind the desk, James Mitchell, County Map Tech, listened to my story, then said, "If it's a USGS benchmark that's definitive, let's go." We drove out and I cleaned up the marker. He measured, cross-referenced his GPS, checked his tablet, and nodded. Official survey marker. On the books. Since 1963, relief flooded me, finally something solid. Just then, the vest woman, Evelyn, I heard her called, showed up suddenly, sweet as pie, smiling fake and wide. "Mr. Walker, I think we got off on the wrong foot yesterday. Maybe we can compromise for fire safety." She kept fishing, but I wasn't biting. James interrupted. "Ma'am, survey markers aren't negotiable." Her smile tightened. "Of course, just trying to be neighborly." And off she went. A few minutes later, Rebecca, the nervous woman from before, walked over with a thick folder. "I was treasurer," she whispered, "until 6 months ago. I pulled your grandfather's tax exemption records. If this land was ever a greenbelt, he'd have lost them. I flipped through every year stamped and approved for agriculture, hay cattle, water rights, all of it." Rebecca leaned in. "They're using a fake parcel number on their maps. 03457 isn't even in the database." James checked, confirmed no such parcel. Their whole story was a sham. While we walked the property, we heard water too much for a drought year. I followed the sound to the catchment basin and started poking around. Old pipes, new channels, black plastic tarp, all leading from my ditch to their basin. The kicker, the pipe stamped with Evelyn's brother's company name, Hart Landscaping. Just like Rebecca whispered. My pulse kicked up a notch. I photographed everything, bagged a pipe section for evidence, and started hatching a plan. I needed irrefutable proof, something nobody could deny. That's when it hit me, water tracing dye. Neon green, visible as sin. I drove into town, bought 2 bottles, and set up my little science experiment. Poured it in my ditch, watched the water run, counted the minutes. Sure enough, 15 minutes later, the HOA basin glowed green as a Christmas tree. Neighbors saw it too. Phones came out, questions flying. James showed up, helped me mark the real boundary with chalk red line right across the property signpost, sitting a full 15 feet inside my land. Evelyn came tearing over, demanding answers. "You did something to the water!" she screamed. "No, I proved you were stealing it." Her face went pale as moonlight. That's when the emails arrived. Transaction logs showing $15,000 paid to Hart Landscaping same week as a $15,000 cash withdrawal, Evelyn's signature all over it. Embezzlement, plain and simple. She tried flipping the script, filed an emergency inspection request, accused me of endangering the community, demanded fire marshal review. But by then I had proof stacked 3 feet high. The brass disc, the dye test, the embezzled funds, the forged parcel, even Rebecca's audio from an HOA meeting, Evelyn's voice, plotting to turn Walker Ranch into the community park. My wall of evidence kept growing. It all came to a head at the county hearing. Small room, big consequences. Captain from the fire marshal's office presented his findings. Boundary violation, illegal water diversion, tampered inspection files, fabricated parcel ID, even forged signatures. Evelyn tried to talk, but her lawyer stopped her. County administrator laid it out clear. Fraud, trespass, water theft, embezzlement. This is going to the district attorney. Evelyn's confidence evaporated. Rebecca and James stood with me. The elderly couple apologized for doubting me. Neighbors finally spoke up. That afternoon, the board sent a check, $1 to $200 for survey costs, signed by Rebecca, now acting president. Hart Landscaping fined money, refunded policies changed. Evelyn. She packed up skip town for Arizona before charges landed. New board cooperating, transparency in place, water flowing where it belonged. I hammered up Grandpa's old sign on the windmill post, respect the line. The boundary was clear. Channel filled sign, gone. That evening I sat on the porch, sun setting, air sweet with dust and promise. Proof matters. Boundaries matter. Truth endures. Not because I fought harder, but because I did things right with facts and respect the way Grandpa would have wanted. So here's what I want to know. Have you ever stood your ground for something that mattered even when it would have been easier to just walk away? Drop a comment below, tell me your story, your fight, your fence line. And hey, if this one hit home, share it with someone who'd appreciate a little justice or just a good plot twist. Until next time, hold your ground and keep it real.